I went up in the attic to get these, to get the storm door out, and Honey Baby found the high school annual, and she sat right down on the floor and started looking at pictures, kind of walking down memory lane, So I came down here and started dismantling these old plastic windows to save the wood out of them, and I guess maybe seeing that reminded me of the first and only class reunion I ever went to. I took with me a book full of pictures, and there were pictures of my house and cars and pretty much pictures of my life. I was pretty proud of them, so at one point we all went out to eat. I think we went out to the Waffle House or something like that, and I came out with my little photograph album with all my pictures in it, and I remember one of the people I went to school with plonked it down on the table and opened it up, and right there in broad daylight was a picture of a couple of old race cars I had in the backyard propped up against an old homemade shed that I built up alongside of like a 1958 mobile home, one of those little 10-foot wide ones that's made out of tin, looks all silver, And I'd sawed a hole in the side of it and made a door, had all our tools in there, and I'd put up a shed out of used lumber, and I didn't have the right kind of roof, but I had some tin that didn't exactly fit, but I stuck it up in there because it kept some of the rainwater off, and then I did one side of it up with plastic, kind of keep the wind out, so when we worked on a race car in the wintertime, we wouldn't all get wind and snow blowing all over us. Well, this young lady took one look at my photo album, and she looked up at me in horror as if she just discovered a crime scene. And it's kind of funny when you see yourself through someone else's eyes and realize that you're kind of that you just don't measure up, I realized that, my other classmates had done really fabulous things and had really beautiful homes and excellent new cars, and here I was living in Maine in a trailer. I had I think it was a 14 wide trailer. I was pretty dang proud of it. It was a nice one, I lived in a nice trailer, and I had an old trailer out back that I kept my tools in and motors, and had fashioned up somewhat of a shop, enough to build a race car or two in. It's kind of funny how every so often you get a glimpse of yourself through someone else's eyes, and when you don't quite measure up, it's a little bit of a shock to your system, at first. Of course, now I think I've made a career out of not measuring up in people's eyes. I'm like one of those weird people that you see on television that does weird stuff, like hangs a car on the side of their house and puts up a red light outside and different things, such as that. I don't know, I was just thinking about that and all. Just funny thoughts that go through your mind. But if any of y'all out there living in a mobile home, good for you. It's not a bad place to be, especially if it's paid for. And if it ain't paid for, if it's something you can afford, good for you, Having a roof over your head, that means a lot, and it don't have to cost $150,000, You've got something that keeps the roof, keeps the rain off in you, gives you a safe place to sleep at night, warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Can't ask for much more than that. Anyway, I'm just saying that. I don't know why, just what came to me.